I just wanted to quickly show you how to use the Clover Pom Pom maker. I love this thing because it's so easy to use, and pom-poms, I don't know, they're kind of making a comeback. I don't know, I see them all over different projects, from pillows. Obviously, you can use them to top off your hats. I've even used it to make flowers before, pom-pom flowers. So many uses for the pom-pom. So to get started, you're gonna grab your Clover Pom Pom maker. You're gonna grab some yarn here, and we're just gonna open up our little arms here. So we're gonna start on the right, and we're just gonna grab our yarn. We're gonna hold it in our left hand, and we're gonna start wrapping around the arm here. So you're just gonna kind of wrap down the arm, and all you're gonna do is just continue wrapping until you get a nice thick layer of yarn. So back and forth, up and down the arm. So just continue with that. Okay, so now you can see my yarn is pretty thick there around my arm, and I'm ending on the right side of that arm. So once you end there, we'll do one more, you're gonna close it, and then you're just gonna move right on over to the other arm. So once again, you're just gonna start wrapping your yarn, and you're gonna continue wrapping down your arm. So keep filling in your yarn until the whole thing is filled up. All right, now my other arm is full, so I'm just gonna close that, grab my scissors here, and I'm gonna trim my tail, and you wanna keep it kind of long. And then you're gonna take your scissors. I don't know if you can see, there's like a little groove in here. So you're just gonna take your scissors and you're gonna hold on to your pom-pom maker here, and you're just gonna snip those. There's a little, you can see a little better, a little guide there, so you just follow along that ridge and just trim your yarn. So after you trim this side, you're gonna flip it over, and you're gonna do the same thing on the other side. It's almost like trimming hair. You just keep on trimming your yarn there. All right, so now that our yarn is trimmed, we are going to take another piece of yarn, and we're just gonna cut it, and we're gonna slide our yarn into the grooves of the pom-pom maker. So I'm just kind of pulling it through, and I don't know if you heard that, but there's a little bit of a pop. You want to make sure it's nice and tight. You're gonna pull it tight, and then you're just gonna tie a knot. So we're gonna tie a quick knot here, and you're gonna pull it nice and tight. I'm just gonna do another knot there, because you don't want your little pieces of yarn falling out, so make sure your knot is nice and tight. So once you have your knot tied, you're gonna take your arms and you're just gonna open them up. So open one side, and then open the other side, and then you're just gonna pull the two pieces apart. And then you have your cute little pom here. And I just kind of rub it between my hands just to kind of fluff, whoops, just to kind of fluff it up a little. And then once you're done with that, depending on how you want to use it, just go ahead and trim any excess yarn you might have, just so you don't have any long strands sticking out. So just go along here. And then if I was gonna, attach this to something, I'd probably leave these two so I can sew it to the top of a hat, or to, end of a pillow or whatever. But if you just are if you're not gonna sew it to anything, you can just trim those edges off, and you have your adorable little pom-pom. So like I said, this is super easy to do, and I love that this yarn actually has different colors to it, so it looks like you actually